Retirement distribution and income planning have been described as the missing link of financial planning for households. With me now is Tony Moreno from Moreno, Peelan, Pinto, and Clark. And Tony's going to give us the truth about the common myths of retirement distribution planning. Good to see you again, Tony.
Good to see you, Serena.
Okay, Tony, what are the biggest myths that people often hear?
Well, Serena, with working with so many retirees, there's a lot of misunderstanding when it comes to retirement income. And one of the myths is that when I retire, I am going to just live off my income and I don't want to touch the principal. Well, under this environment that we're in, especially with low interest rates, that's a real challenge. The second myth is when I get to retirement, I'm going to shift everything to very conservative investments. And that makes sense. But then you have to also think about how is inflation going to impact my income, my standard of living, and the risk of living too long, which is a good thing, but at the same time it could be an issue. And finally, the third thing is as I'm planning for retirement, that Social Security and my pension plan are going to be sufficient to provide that income that I need, and that's very difficult to do as well, as we all know.
How can I maximize my income during retirement?
Well, I think the first thing you need to do is meet with your advisor and have a plan. It really comes down to two things. The first thing is, you need to figure out how much you have, including all income sources, Social Security, pensions, whatever. And the second thing is, how much do you need? And that you can do through sitting down and going through a budget. Then from there, really developing a distribution strategy that's going to help mitigate a lot of the concerns that many of our retired clients have.
Tony, how do I protect my retirement assets in this volatile economic economy?
Serena, I would need an entire show for that. but basically, the traditional approach that most retirees will take is they have that pie chart. They take their investments, diversify it, and then they start taking systematic withdrawals from that to supplement their income. The challenge is that under a rising market, that makes a lot of sense. But in a falling market, that could be devastating to your retirement because then you're forced to sell at a down market. So what we believe makes sense is to create segments or pools within your portfolio. So the income you need today, you would take from, let's say, your first pool, the income you need for the next 5 to 10 years. That would be very conservative, no market volatility, and no correlation to the market. The next pool would be the income you need for the next 5 to 10 years, and so on and so forth. So the last pool is the money that you may not need for 25 years. And that's where we can take advantage of opportunities and protect from the fact that you may outlive your money or the money that you want to leave to your children. By doing that, remember, it's not about timing in the market, but it's about time in the market.
I have heard about defined benefit plans for retirement. What is your take on that?
Serena, that is also a very difficult question. In fact, the Florida legislation just passed where they're going to require employees and teachers to contribute 3% of their income into the Florida retirement system. That's never been the case. Remember, you used to be able to work for a company for 20, 30 years, and then you're going to have your nice little pension, and with Social Security, you're going to be okay. But today, that's changed. In fact, most of the pension plans today, if not all of them, are grossly underfunded. So what we're seeing is a big shift from defined benefit, which what that means is that you're defining your benefit at retirement, to a defined contribution, where now you're shifting the risk to the employees, and that's
another segment, I believe, Tony.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thanks again for having me.
Well, I certainly have seen that with planning for retirement, that there is much to be considered so that I can get my maximum benefits and have enough to cover as long as I need it.